Hey guys, welcome back to another LV1 video with the Waves Access server coming out next year. I really think it's gonna make its way into the rental and touring market. Since there is currently not an offline editor on the market right now, I thought what better way to kind of fill that void that's there by creating my own editor. Now, this is really nothing fancy. It's just a Google Sheets spreadsheet. But the way I have it set up here, I really think it'd be very easy for the host engineer, per se, to transfer the guest engineer's data into an actual LV1 session and then send the rental rig on the road. So let's go ahead. We'll take a look at the LV1 here just really quick. So basically, the way I wanted to do this is, you know, it's supposed to look very familiar to the LV1 interface. So at the top, we have 1 through 16. We've got our names here, so you can just tab through here and enter all your data very easily, or you can delete if so need be. We have input A and B, so you can, for example, hit IOX1, and then it will turn red. So I've got a lot of color changing going on. It's just meant to be very easy to identify what's changed. Same thing with B here. So if you need to fill a B input, and then on the mixer itself, you can select what you want your primary channel to be, essentially. So we'll just go back to A. It is an option, so I added it. It's very easy to select stereo or mono, and the color will change. We can add phantom power, positive or negative polarity on each channel. Of course, the color changes again. Here we have all of our stock emo plugins, but we've also got a full list of Waves plugins in here. Now, currently there's a lot of plugins you can't use inside LV1, so like XClick and XCrack and stuff. This I'll probably take out. I'll probably go here and maybe kind of clean things up. So if we were to add the Renaissance compressor, it kind of takes up a lot of room. So I might do some abbreviations in the end. But for now, it's working pretty well. And you have the 8 slots. So it's very easy to add what you need and then go through here and see what's changed. Down to the effects sends and monitor sends, you can turn them on and off, and you've got the option of turning on post pan, input, pre, post processing, and the colors change. So it's easy to do this on a per channel basis or just turn it off. And then all the values are set to negative infinity right now. But you can go there and we'll do -10, and then the color will change. So it's very easy to see that change. Down to our group matrix sends, you can select what group you want to assign it to. Color changes again. Just clear this out. And what matrix you want. Now we'll get into the matrix stuff a little bit later, but basically you are sending to matrix 1 through 8 here, and what input you want on the matrix. So for example, matrix 1, we want to assign channel 1 to matrix 1, but input 7. Now you can only assign up to 12 inputs per matrix. So it's important to kind of keep track of how many you're assigning to each matrix. Otherwise, you'll go past your 12. Now, in the LV1 itself, if you go past 12, I think I have an example here. You can see I've already filled up 12 here just for an example, and now it's no longer an option on additional channels. So we go down to our left-right bus here. You can, by default, it's on. You can, of course, turn it off, and the color will change. And then, of course, you can add center or mono, and the color will change accordingly. Now, in LV1, the direct outputs are set by default post-processing, but you can do input, pre, etc., and the color will change accordingly. And then output. So this is just manual. You would type in IOX6, for example, and then the color will change. Moving on to the panner, by default, they're all set to center, but it's very easy to go, say, left 45 and put in your preference for the host engineer. So we'll just set that back to center. So faders, same sort of thing. So like minus on the fader, color changes, and it's kind of easy to see what's changed. Down here we have link groups and mute groups here. Let's see. I don't think that's supposed to. I'll have to get rid of this right here. Got an extra row left over. So we have link groups. You can assign them 1 through 16, and the color changes accordingly. And mute groups as well. And these turn red. So you decide what mute group you want. And then I have the tabs down here. So this is very similar to what you would see inside the LV1, 1 through 16, 17 through 32, so on and so forth. We've got it right here. If you're just doing like a 32 or 16 channel session, then it's just easy enough to delete those and be on your way. On to groups. Same sort of thing, what you would normally see inside the LV1 mixer. You can name them. I've got a little color here to indicate that these are groups. Change polarity for each your left and your right. Very easy. Here's your plugins, so same sort of thing. And then FX sends and monitor sends. You can assign a matrix to your matrix right here. Left, right, center, mono, and then direct outputs as well. Here's your fader, and then link groups and mute groups. Pretty easy. Onto our auxes, so same sort of thing, just minus options that normally aren't available. For example, this section right here, of course, assigning a monitor to a monitor would cause a feedback loop, so this is not an option inside LV1, but you can see polarity, mono, stereo, etc. It's all set up and ready to go. Onto our masters. Now this is where the matrices come into play. So if you were to go here and assign input 1, or I'm sorry, input 1 to matrix 1, input on the matrix 1, then we would need to go over to our master section and designate this is our matrix 1, this is input 1, and then do we want that post-processing, post-pan, input, pre, whatever. We have all of those options. Normally you would do this inside the matrix area right here. So select channel. And then here's the option here. But there's really no good way to make that easy inside the spreadsheet. So you've got to go here and select that. So here again, there's 12 inputs per matrix, and then everything else looks familiar. We get the plugins, positive, negative polarity, setting this to mono stereo. These are mono stereo by default. So link, mute groups, etc. It's all here. To the right, we've got link DCAs. So you'll assign your links, of course, down here. But if you need to set the fader level, then you can very easily go over here and make that adjustment. So we'll just do -10, and then it changes color. So you know that an adjustment has been made. Oops, -infinity. So yeah, I think that's about it. Here's talkback section. You can send talkback to effects and monitor sends. So we have all that here. I've got some device-to-device routing. There's no devices plugged in here, but you can just put whatever device you want. And then there's 64 from to 64 channels from 64 channels to. So if you want to go to say 19 to 21, then you just put an X in here and then it changes color. So it's very easy to know what's changed in your device settings. And if you need more, it's very easy to copy these and make extra device to device pages, but I've just got 2 in here by default. This is your setup page. So over here you've got your rack IO devices and server and control surfaces. You just basically type in digigrid D or whatever, and it will change color and fill. So, whatever devices you are planning on having. And then mixer configuration, whether you want DSP optimized or latency, and then how you want your mixer aligned. Here's your how you want your meters to respond pre or post and all that stuff. Function keys. We've got all the function keys. Now, there's not really a good way to expand the menus with inside of a menu. Perhaps in a later version, I'll figure out a way to do this. But for now, if you select talkback preset, we'll talkback preset, and then you just add whatever note you want. Of course, you wouldn't really have. If you're sending this to somebody, you're not going to have talkback presets or a lot of things. But most of the stuff, it's very easy. Fix this. Save session, that's pretty generic. Load session. So these are easy enough. Here I have those function keys just labeled, which I'll actually fix this now. So this is just for this spreadsheet to have some sort of reference. And then here's all the plugins. These are very easy to update as new stuff comes out. Again, I need to kind of clean up and get rid of some of the ones that aren't available in LV1. But we also have the latencies depending on your sample rate inside here. So anyway, I hope this offline editor helps some people. Try to make it as simple as possible. So please send me your feedback and let me know if you'd like any sort of changes or modifications or you see any bugs. But till next time, I will see you.